All right, folks, what's up? And welcome into another edition, a brand new edition of the Babin on the Bayou show. I am your host, as always, Justin Babin Jr. Thank you, as always, folks, for tuning in. I hope you are doing well on this very fine Thursday evening, Thursday, March 12th, 2026. Hope everything is going great. I'm so excited to have my guest on the show today, tonight. This evening, we're going to talk about LSU baseball, do a SEC preview for LSU baseball. Maybe start the show by going through some of our takeaways to the first 4 weeks and everything else that's been going on with LSU baseball and all of that. And I'm so excited to do this SEC preview as LSU starts SEC action. The 30-game grind of conference play starts tomorrow night with LSU heading to Nashville to play Vanderbilt in a 3-game weekend series. And there's no other two guys that I would rather have on to talk about LSU baseball and everything that we're looking forward to and everything that we've seen so
Stop
far. Than my
lying.
I was
guys.
about to say that's a lie. Like that's a lie. I
I'd
could
I
tell
think
you
do
right
want to
of
now,
add.
I'd have you
I,
guys on.
I,
I'd rather
I
have
could
Skip Burtman and Jay Johnson
I
any day.
I
I
could
mean,
think
yeah,
I could think of some. I could think of David Billiot and Zach Nunez could be
David
better than
Billiot
me.
too. David
Hey,
Billiot too is
whoa,
in this conversation as
whoa,
well.
Better than me. I
whoa.
mean, look, y'all can replace me. Y'all, it could be you, Paul, filling David, Zach, and then get to me somewhere down the line. Like I could think of Buddha. I am literally just Joe Schmuggity Schmo out there, in this baseball world.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
but
by the way, ladies and
it's
gentlemen, I'm gonna. It's my fault. We're late because my
Paul.
dumb self plans out an hour and then I talk for 3 minutes without a mic on. So it's my fault. We're late, and I apologize, Babbitt. I'm so sorry.
and it's my fault that the camera is not fully as it
It's
should
my
be.
fault.
We tried to fix it, folks. I don't know what it is. I'll have to figure it out. But again, yeah, my guys, AP from Timeouts and Tangents, and then Paul Jarrett, host of Walk It Off. Thank you guys for coming on the show. How are you doing, fellas?
Man, I'm doing good. It's like Christmas Eve, guys. Like, think about
I
this
feel
for a
like an
quick
idiot.
second. Think about this for a quick second, y'all. Think about this. Just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. No Joker. Joker's in the chat right now. Joker says time for me to make a podcast appearance coming up soon. I've been telling you that since you jumped into my very first stream, sir. I've been
Joker, I
telling you
already
that.
talked to you
All
about
right.
this. You're coming
Been
on the show.
telling you that, sir. Anyway, it's like Christmas Eve, guys. All right. We have been slumming through the dredges of winter, the darkness of the end of football until Lane Kiffin made his arrival out of like a phoenix out of the ashes to get us to spring ball, to get us to opening day. And then here we are. We've made it. The first 18 are in the books. We are here.
We are here.
Let the grind. I'm so excited for this weekend. I forgot we lost 2 games over the last week. That's how
Yeah.
That's how much I'm pumped for SEC play. Like I can't wait.
So before we get into the SEC play discussion, and that's what this show is mainly about, I did want to give a chance in the first 10 minutes, kind of open up the floor to you guys about what we've seen through the first 4 weeks of non-conference action. And I feel like it's been the tale of two halves, personally. I feel like it's the first 2 weeks where LSU looked like world beaters and they were one of the best teams in the country. They went 8-0. Their offense was leading the SEC in batting average after, after the 8 games. After Jacksonville, they were leading the conference in batting average as a team. 8-0. And then first time they went 8-0 under Jay Johnson, by the way. First time that's ever happened under Jay Johnson. And then you have the last 10 games where you've went 5-5. You're 500 in your last 10 games. The offense has struggled. You've had issues, all of that. I do think, as I said on my show yesterday, that you took a very positive step and a sign of growth and maturity in this team on Tuesday night, coming back and responding to adversity against Creighton. But I do think you've seen a tale of two halves. The first half of non-conference play, which we saw the first 2 weeks of non-conference play, and then what we've seen in the last 10 games. But I want to open up the floor kind of general and I'll start with you, Paul, give you the opportunity to give what are some of your main takeaways from the first weeks of non-conference play as we head into SEC play this weekend.
Like I just talked about it on my show a little bit. The one it's like Christmas Eve. Like AP was right. I love SEC baseball play, but like I talked about just a minute ago, you got to say the one thing you can be excited about going into the SEC play is our pitching rotation. I believe it's the best pitching rotation in the SEC. I would have liked to have said it was the offense, because coming into the first 2 weeks of the season, like you said, it's a tale of two halves. The offense was, we could have had a limited pitching rotation. We could have had a sloppy start, but our offense was going to pick it up. Now, I've said it before, I'll say it again. They weren't as good as the final score and the box score said. They were cardiac cats to a point, but it was good. Now, after Tuesday, I feel a lot better, especially with Stanley coming back, because they showed like I told you, Babin, on the phone, they showed the fight and they finished the fight Tuesday. That's what has me excited. And the SEC is the SEC, but man, it's a different world than I would have expected coming into SEC play, knowing that Texas, Kentucky, and Missouri and Mississippi State, but we can get to them later, are the top of the SEC right now. They're the top four. That's not something I would have had on my bingo card with Missouri and Kentucky.
Missouri has
Jones a great coach or a good team, but it's just I didn't think they had the talent this year.
I know they haven't played many people, but many good teams. But after last season, Missouri went on like a 13-game win streak lately. They've been on fire. I know they haven't played great competition, but what about you, AP? What about your big overarching takeaways through the first 4 weeks of the season?
Baseball is baseball. I mean, like, are we disappointed in some of the outcomes because of the expectations that we have for this team? Yes. But at the end of the day, this pitching staff is elite. Like, nobody's going to be able to match us up Friday through Sunday. As long as everybody stays healthy, we'll be fine. And the bats are going to come around. I'm glad that we went through that cold stretch early. And I feel better about this team on Thursday following how we played Tuesday than I did Saturday following how we played on Friday. Because Friday night was, wow, that's amazing. Now do it again. Can you replicate that? How do you win when you don't have that? For me, Wednesday it was, that's a baseball team, 1 through 9.
Tuesday.
Because, Tuesday night. Well, no, I'm saying, Wednesday, like after the game, I felt like that's a baseball team. That's a baseball team. Because when they got kicked in the teeth, they responded. The bats weren't blowing up home runs all over the place. The pitchers that came in locked in and got outs when they needed to get outs. They moved base runners over when they needed to get runs over. They hit the big grand slam when they needed to have it. Like, when they had to make plays, they made it. When they had to play smart, lock down the lead, they did it.
I'll tell you that worries me.
What's that?
Needing the home run.
Yes, and I was getting to that. That's exactly what I was getting to. Because like I told you earlier, Paul, myself and Buddha had a conversation earlier, and he pointed something out to me. He was like, the offense, what he said was, the offense so far has
Buddha
been
cheese,
too
by the
home.
way.
Yeah, Buddha cheese. Shout out to you, my guy. He said that the offense has been too home run reliant. And how do you play when you don't have those home runs? When they're hot, they are hot. It's explosive. It's Friday night. But can you get wins? Can you get 7, 8 runs when you don't have those home runs? Mm-hmm. How do you scratch those wins? How effective are you at the plate? So I feel better about their approaches and how the offense handled things because of how they played on Tuesday. Now, going into this weekend, can you do it again?
Yeah. I think, for me, it's like, yes, the past 2 weeks have been frustrating. Like, they've been very frustrating for everybody, and we understand that. But you see that it's not a talent issue. Like, it's not a talent issue. It's definitely not a coaching issue. You've gone through a stretch where, yes, you haven't been great at the plate in the past 10 games. You really haven't. I think Tuesday night against Creighton, I thought you took a lot more quality ABs. Like, even in the first inning. In the first inning, Seth Darter had a 10-pitch at bat. Like, in the first inning, the Creighton starting pitcher threw 30 pitches. They're like over 30 pitches. The best, when Jay Johnson's offense is at its best, it's working pitchers, making them work, driving up pitchers counts. Like, that's the best when a Jay Johnson offense is working, like that approach to plate. So I also wanted to do something fun, and we can whoever I give this the first to, it's obviously, probably one of the easiest answers you can give, but I'll give it to you, AP. Who do you think has been the standout player through the first 4 weeks of the season on this team?
Standout player?
Yeah.
What?
Or who's been the best player, however you want to frame it. I think it's
read
pretty
AP's
easy
mind.
to answer, but
so
don't answer nothing yet. Just 1 second. All right, answer him.
I'm laughing. ATG, my guy. I love you, you idiot. Thank you. I want you to know that's why Mike Evans left you. Okay. Anyway, moving on. If you know, you know. For me, if I'm gonna say the most, like my MVP so far, I have to go with. I mean, you can say Jake Brown. That's the easiest one, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Say that. It's easy to say that. I'm not gonna say Jake Brown. And this is gonna sound real clickbaitish based off of what's happened this week. It's gonna sound, but I'm going with Stephen Milam. He has 0 errors in the field. He has the lowest strikeout percentage at the plate. Like, he's still hitting above 250. You want to talk about elite? The dude almost dislocated his shoulder Tuesday night to save an out, which saved runs. That's what you want at your shortstop. Now, what I also will say is absence makes the heart grow fonder. My most missed player is also that speaking to me as a hidden MVP is Chris Stanfield. And I said this weeks ago to Paul and David that I think we were missing Chris Stanfield more than what we realized. And this was before we went on the 5-5 losing win-loss streak that we had. His impact defensively is ridiculous, as we know. And then his steadiness at the plate helps keep the lineup moving forward. And you could tell that we needed that in the lineup when the lineup started drawing cold. We just needed to get base runners on, and we didn't have a guy who could just have quality at-bats at the back end of the lineup to keep getting base runners on. But long-winded answer to give you the cliff notes. Stephen Milam. I stand with 4, okay?
Yes, and we absolutely should. He's the best defensive shortstop in the country. He's a gold glove for Stephen Milam and for Derek Curiel with the way he's playing in center. I want to shout him out as well. He's playing phenomenal defense in center field. Paul, talk about your guy. Talk about your guy.
Well, so the easy answer is Jake Brown. Like, too easy, right?
Yeah.
My guy is Casey Evans. To be completely honest with you, because the guy has came out every Friday. He's giving you a quality start, and like I said on my show, he hasn't been the reason why he's gotten in trouble. It hasn't been walks. It hasn't been hit batters. It hasn't been the wild pitches or the pass balls that have got him. Well, it has been pass balls that have got him, but he's giving you quality start after quality start, and people just gave him hell. And it's dumb. So that's my guy. Because Casey Evans, he had all of the pressure on him because you had people on the radio saying it should have been this guy. You had other people saying it should be this guy. You have Cooper Moore coming out and being as nails as he was to come out and start the year. William Schmidt showing promise over and over again after every Sunday. So for Kason Evans to come out and not let the adversity that's been placed in front of him trouble him, and he still goes 5 almost perfecto Friday against Sac State. My guy's Kason Evans. We can talk about Jake Brown hitting 9 bombs, having 28 RBIs. Like, dude is the hot as the surface of the sun. Yes. But most impressive guy is Kason Evans. Honorable mention, Gavin Guidry coming out and being nails. Being as nails as he was after taking a year off. That says a lot.
Yeah, so obviously Jake Brown is on fire at the plate right now. I mean, he's hit more home runs through 18 games than he did all year in 2025. Like, when you look at his power numbers, like, it is just unbelievable. I will say for Kason Evans, I think what you've seen is you've seen improvement from start to start. I think his worst start of the season was opening day. He was better against Indiana.
It wasn't a bad start.
It wasn't a bad start. It wasn't a bad start until he got, a little bit the 4th inning. I get it. But my point is you opening day, I think you were better against Indiana than you were on opening day. You were better against Dartmouth than you were against Indiana. And your best start of the season was Friday night against Sacramento State. Like, my point is you're seeing improvement week to week from Kason Evans. You're seeing him get better. And coming into coming into the season, he was going to be, the top guy, the face of this pitching staff because of the phenomenal, freshman year that he had. And I think when you look at it week over week, start over start, you're seeing improvement every single week. He is building on top of what he has already accomplished, right? I think that's my biggest thing when it comes to Kason Evans. All right. So
nobody's talking about that 46 pitch inning no more against Indiana.
Yeah. I mean, but Paul, my thing is, like, he's given up, even when he's given up the big inning, like the 3-run inning against Indiana. He came back and he pitched 2 straight innings where he only threw 8 pitches.
2 straight, yeah.
My point is that's what I'm saying. Bouncing back, just take 1 inning, because you could, in SEC play, you're gonna have an inning like that. You're gonna have an inning where you give up multiple runs. I'm not saying you will in every start, but you will have that situation happen to you. But you've seen him be able to flush it and to move on and still pitch well later into the game. Cooper Moore, I think he's been – it's debatable. I think Moore, Evans, and Schmidt have all been great this season. And Cooper Moore was excellent. He had a freaking 77% strike rate in his first 3 starts. The reason I was actually encouraged by his 4th start, the start against Sacramento State, is that what happened was he did not have his best stuff. It was obvious that day he did not have his best
off.
Stuff. He did not have his best command. I mean, he went down from a 77% strike rate to a 55% strike rate. And my thing with that is he was still able to only give up 1 run. When you've seen in midweek games, you've given up the big inning. You gave up a 4-run inning and a 6-run inning to Northeastern. You gave up 2 3-run innings to ULL. And then you go to Saturday. Cooper Moore doesn't have his best stuff. Bases are loaded. You've already given up 1 run in the 2nd inning. And you get a big K to get out of the inning. And he was dealing with base runners on the base pass all game long. And he was able – a sign of a good pitcher is – you can give up 1 run here, 1 run there. Can you limit the big inning? Can you stop the bleeding? And even on a day when Cooper Moore didn't have his best stuff, obviously, the sign of a good pitcher, which is definitely what Cooper Moore is that he was able to stop the bleeding. And I was very encouraged by that personally when I looked at Cooper Moore's start last Saturday against Sacramento State.
And the thing with Cooper Moore starting against Sacramento State, and I highlighted this in my show. And yes, people, you can You can talk about how people failed during a game. You can talk about a kid's gameplay. Just don't tear them down. The run shouldn't have been honestly and truly, the run shouldn't have been given up. Braun shouldn't have been in left field. I'm sorry. I'll say that. Braun shouldn't have been in left field. He looked uncomfortable out of the stretch. Why? Has he thrown much out of the stretch this year?
Nope.
And everything looked up. Everything was up. I was texting Joe during the game, and I was seeing he was leaving some stuff up, and some of it was called balls, some of it was called strikes. And I was asking him where the top of the zone was, so I tried to figure that out. But once he kind of figured out his mechanics in that second to third inning, nothing was left up anymore. The shot to left field wasn't a ball left up. It was a good swing, and Braun just it's hard to read that low hard line drive in the outfield, especially in a kind of half sundown day game in left field in the out box. That's not something he's used to. He's a first baseman. Like his first 3 steps were forward.
Yeah,
he messed up.
Okay. Question. We can move into SEC play. We can move into the future. I'll start off with 2 questions. We'll start off positive, then we'll go to a little bit of the negative. My first question, and we can start with you, AP. What are you most confident about for the Tigers going into SEC play?
Oh, pitching. like it's the theme of the night. The pitching. The pitching. Nobody in the SEC's got Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Who are you going to pitch off against? Who are you going to pitch off against? Like these guys have shown, and what I love about it is that every one of them have shown you they are getting better and better and better. Each start they step onto the mound, they're getting more and more comfortable. They're finding their rhythms. Do they have their hiccups? Yes. I mean, it's baseball. They're pitching. They're going to have moments. I mean, hell, Paul Skeens gave up home runs, guys. I didn't know if y'all realize that. He didn't strike everybody out. So it happens. But what we're finding out is that through those first 5 innings, you're going to have a hard time. And if you slip up and get a crooked number on us, you better make sure you finish it off. Because if you don't, we have the opportunity to come back. This team drags people out to the deep water and see if they can swim. Now, the last 10 games, teams have been finding out how well we can swim. I think we're getting our sea legs back, boys. It's time to go hunting.
100%. I'm sorry, Babin, go ahead.
No, I was going to give it to you. I was going to say same thing here. Starting rotation gives you an advantage going in. Like having William Schmidt on a Sunday in SEC play, that gives you an advantage. Like I was going to say I completely agree with that, but you go, Paul.
Well, you talking about getting your sea legs back. I don't know if I'm just a pessimist or so superstitious. Like, I didn't say who was going to win this weekend. I didn't say how they were going to perform. I didn't say how I thought they would. I said it, but I've been saying it, and it hasn't worked out well for me. And I'm like, maybe not. Maybe not a good idea. ATG, you're wrong. They don't have a better rotation. I'll fight you.
I'm responding in the.
They're good. They are good. They are good, but they're not. They're really better. Good. They may be equal. They're not better. I will fight you all day on that.
Yeah, like it's.
I think that's close. Sky Joe. So handle with care because he's very sensitive. But this
my guys
offense getting their sea legs back. I want to see them in their approach, especially against this rotation, because they're, like I said, they're a heavy, like Friday and Saturday are heavy changeup guys. They're heavy, and they're going to pitch off. A lot of strikeouts, not a lot of walks till you get to Sunday. They're going to be in the zone. Can they attack the zone? Will they stay composed and within themselves? That is my question.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not saying they have to see things back yet.
I completely agree that the best thing about this team going into SEC play, and the thing that you can be confident in is the rotation of Evans, Moore, Schmidt. Like that's it. Like that is a really great rotation to have going into SEC play Friday through Sunday. I'll move on to the negative now. The other question I had, and I want to give my thoughts on this question, and then y'all can, have full with it and give your responses if it's different. The other question I have is, what are you most concerned about going into SEC play? For me, I don't think the offense, I think the offense will figure it out. I think the offense will figure it out. They're too talented. They have too much talent at the plate to not be able to figure it out. If I did objectively say there's one thing that can concern me at times, it's the defense in the field. And I'm not talking about, obviously, Derek Curiel and Stephen Milam are Gold Gloves. They don't apply to this situation. Obviously, getting Chris Stanfield back in left field is going to be huge because you've had a basically 3 to 4 man rotation while Stanfield has been out. But you saw the errors in the 2 midweek games last week against Northeastern and ULL. I think the play behind the plate at the catcher position could be a little bit better. And I think it seems like anytime you try to throw a pickoff move or anytime a pitcher tries to throw to first base, it seems like it's off target. That's just kind of what it's felt like lately. For me, I think the offense, they're too good not to be able to figure it out eventually and eventually turn it back around, and they're going to be okay. The lingering issue, the long-term issue that I think could be a problem is the defense in the field.
Go ahead, AP.
I agree. Like for me, I'm looking at specifically catcher. Like Kate Arambidi came out and started the season amazing. It was a concern I had going in, and he proved. I said it on our first post game. Like I was absolutely, pleased with how well he played behind the plate. He's been slipping since. Cerna has shown some flashes of brilliance, and well as some I'm still new to this experience as well. And I'd like to see Yamin get a crack at it, but if Jay's not putting him out there, that must be done for a reason. My other biggest concern, too, is the depth. We see the impact of not having Chris Stanfield, and when he's not there, that's only one starter, right? And it's affected the rest of the infield play because you're putting Braun out in left. You're swapping out Simpson to third, and you got to move Dardar over to second and Simpson. Like you're trying to get everything solidified, and that was just one injury to one guy out there. What does our depth look like? God forbid we lose an arm. Like the midweek arms have been very up and down. Like I'm concerned about the depth. I thought that this team was an embarrassment of riches. We don't have an embarrassment of riches just yet. I think that we still have to grow into it. Now, do I think that this team is going to be better by the end of SEC play than going into it? Yes, because they're still pretty young. So they got a lot of, growing up to do. They're gonna face a lot of adversity, but they gotta clean up the play behind the plate. Throws down the second, like you said, throws over the first have to be on point. And I think getting Chris Stanfield back will help solidify the rest of the defense. But if the play behind the plate isn't cleaned up, then it's gonna be rough.
Paul,
I'm gonna echo that. So my number one worry would be the bullpen outside of the circle of trust.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Guidry, Sheeran, Newt, Plug, Santi. That would be my concern because you haven't had like Cooper Williams came out in the opening weekend. It was nails, and he hasn't found his hammer since. You've had other guys show like Docs came out. He's thrown great at times. Grant Fondo has thrown great at times. We haven't seen a lot of Cowan lately. That is something that really worries me because you're talking about depth. Say you get into a Friday night dogfight and you have to throw Guidry Sheeran or Guidry Plug or Plug Sheeran or Santi Plug. Like say you have to use 3 or 4 arms on a Friday night. Okay. Now your advantage on Saturday and Sunday dwindles a little bit because if you can get through a Saturday, Sunday with Evans, Guidry, Moore, Sheeran, it's stupid. You're set up on Sunday. That's my biggest worry. The offense is a close second. I mean, nipping at the heels second. And it's not because I don't think they have the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go. Finish.
I don't. It's not because I don't think they have the ability. It's because they have to show the consistency. They have to show the better approach. And like I said, Jay told them, you're starting to play like men. You're not, but you're starting to. And I'm going to echo the defensive stuff about catcher. Guys, I don't want to dog on them. They're having a hard time receiving it. And don't get me wrong, you're not running on them. Take off him first, I dare you.
Right.
Beatty and Certain have shown you that they're going to put cuffs on you, cuz. Go ahead and try to steal something.
Rockets.
But
if it's there,
catch the ball first. That's my problem. So,
yeah.
I got a long answer to a lot of things that are in the starting rotation on the weekend.
I do want to thank everybody in the chat from Randy to All Things Go to Cody to Tiger Joker. Want to thank everybody who's in the chat. Really do appreciate all of you. One other thing I wanted to touch on with the bullpen, and I kind of talked with you over the phone about this yesterday, Paul, is it's weird. Like you see like each guy, you know, there's some guys who have shaky outings here and there and all of that. And there's some surprises, you know, like I'm surprised. I hate dogging on him, and it's not what I'm trying to do because he was great in 2025. But Zach Cowan's performance in the non-conference has been disappointing. Frankly, it's just been a little bit disappointing. I thought he was going to be better, you know, not trying to dog on him because of how great he was last season, but I'm just being honest. But I think you've seen like each pitcher go out and have a good performance. Like Ethan Plog on Saturday was awesome against Sacramento State. He was awesome against Sacramento State. He's had a few more good appearances as well. Now, he struggled a little bit with command Tuesday night against Creighton, especially in that third inning. Santiago Garcia, you know, you saw him a little bit in limited action, a little bit here and there over the first couple of weeks, but he was excellent. Like, he was my player of the game Tuesday night against Creighton because of what he was able to do. So I think you've seen different guys step up at different moments. I think the most consistent guys have been, you know, even though maybe he's had, you know, his last few appearances, who knows? But I think the most consistent guys you've had out of the pen have been Guidry and Sheeran. Like, I think those have been the most consistent guys. But you've seen the stuff. You've seen the talent from Plog, from Garcia. You saw the talent from Cooper Williams on opening weekend. Like, Cooper Williams was great opening weekend against Milwaukee. That's another surprise I have. I thought coming into the season, I was like, who's the best left-hander in this bullpen? Who's the best lefty in this bullpen? At this point in the season, I would have said, yeah, that's probably going to be Cooper Williams' role. He's going to be the number one lefty. Yeah. That's what you would have thought. You don't think that right now based on performance. You'll probably go with Plog. You'd probably go with Plog. And I mean, Garcia was also dynamite. He was nails Tuesday night against Creighton. So I didn't expect that. So what I'm saying is, obviously there's talent with each of these guys. I think you're most consistently, you know, game in, game out, series in, series out guys that have came in and been the most effective most often have been Sheeran and Guidry. But I do love what I've seen from like Plog on Saturday, Garcia on Tuesday. And there's definitely some guys like I wouldn't count out Jaden Newt at all. I wouldn't count out Jaden Newt at all and what he can do because I think
he's in the circle of trust.
You know, I think he's going to be a big part of this rotation and this bullpen in SEC play for sure. So those are just some of my thoughts overall on the bullpen. If y'all have anything to add.
No, look, Cody says it in the chat right now. Plug is who I'd go with at the moment. Santi definitely making his case though after Tuesday, and you are absolutely right. I mean, who else can we try outside of like Paul said, the circle of trust? Like Plug has earned it.
He's in
Plug
it.
has earned it. Like
And I'm
he's
so
definitely
high
earned
on
his spot.
Santi, not only because of his performance Tuesday night. He hasn't came into games and had extended appearances. He has came into games in very limited roles so far into the season, and he's been efficient in all of those roles. He hasn't really been touched up. When he was left in there for that extended amount of time and he showed his what I call legitimacy, that's what made me go like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And even Jay said it. Jay, I believe, didn't Jay say he's the best reliever in the country right now? Now we know Jay's going to lift his guys up probably a little higher than usual. But you call him the best reliever in the country. Oregon was not happy he left. Too easy.
I wonder why.
I mean, didn't he throw like 30 innings at Oregon last year? Like, he threw a lot.
He threw a
Oregon
lot
last year. Like he
and
threw
then Monster
30
was like,
innings
hey,
out of the pen last year.
look at these diamonds I got on my fist, bro. Come on. Come down here. It's
I
not
say,
cold
yeah.
out here, bro.
We just went 2 for 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Trying to
We
go
can
back
get
to
into.
back.
Hello, AP. All right.
Yeah,
we're
you
good.
can.
All right. No, I got it. Let's see. Now, I think what we want to go to is I'll give you maybe a few numbers on the SEC, few numbers on the SEC as a whole. I took a look at the schedule earlier in the week. Obviously, been knowing about it for some time. Obviously, right now the SEC is loaded. It's a gauntlet every year. You had got 11 teams currently in the D1 baseball top 25, so nearly half of the top 25 is made up of the SEC. 6 teams from the SEC are in the top 10 with Texas, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Auburn, Georgia, and Oklahoma. Like
all names I hate hearing.
You look at all the talent that's there in the SEC.
How do you have an Auburn fan in the chat? That's what I want to know.
Oh, ban this man. Boo this man.
At least he didn't say Tigers. That's all I got to say.
Right.
I'm picking with you, Mike.
The most confused between
Happy
them
to
and
have
Ole
you
Miss,
here,
they
buddy.
never know what mascot they have. But no, in all honesty, thank you for being here, Mike. I appreciate it. Like the video, share, subscribe. Thank you. Cody, that's my guy. Out of way.
Cody,
boo this man.
No, but I look at the schedule, guys, and every year, like the SEC is a gauntlet, as you say, with all the talent and with all the future big leaguers that are in this league every single year. Like I look at the schedule and kind of the layout, and the last 5 is interesting. Like the last 5 is home, away, home, away, home. So it's kind of alternating. But in the first 5, I think it's kind of interesting because you have away, in Nashville against Vandy. Then you have 2 consecutive series in the box against Oklahoma and Kentucky. And the thing I look for every year with the SEC and with the schedule is when does your back-to-back road series come? When does that come? Because that is a difficult stretch. That back-to-back weekend series on the road in the SEC, that is a difficult stretch. In week 4 and week 5, you go to Knoxville, and then you go to Oxford. That stretch is one that I automatically look at as wins your kind of, wins your situation where you have to go back-to-back weeks on the road in SEC play. My number one series that I would point out as the series that the thing I think, the number one series I'm concerned about, or not concerned about, but looking at it, I'm like, I don't, it's going to be close. That Starkville series, because that's a good Mississippi State team. They're the number 3 team in the country, and
really good.
BOC Brian O'Connor has got them rolling in his first season. And I've said it before on other shows. I've always thought, I know Lamonis won a natty with them a couple of years ago. I always thought if they were able to find the right coach, the consistent coach. Mississippi State's got all the resources to turn into an absolute juggernaut in college baseball. And because of, I mean, just be honest, like Duty Noble Field is one of the best atmospheres in America. Like, it's awesome. Like, watching a game on TV. I've never been there personally, but I've talked to people who have been there. And that is definitely they got the facilities, they got the resources, they got the stadium. And in his first year, they're looking like they're not only, rebuilding, they're contending for a natty in year one. Like, that's what they're trying to do. So when I look at the schedule again, I look at week 4, week 5, you have the back-to-back road series in Knoxville and in Oxford. And then the one that I'm looking to is in week 7, you head to Starkville. And I think that's going to be a crazy atmosphere against a really, really good Mississippi State team, the number 3 team in the country. Your thoughts?
So, to first of all, great point. Knoxville to Oxford is definitely a gauntlet. But Paul, on your show with Jim the other night, he set the pageantry for that Oxford trip so well. Like, he painted the picture so good. It makes me, I could see it. I could close my eyes and envision it. And it makes me want to actually go to check it out. But it also lets me know, too, that there's going to be a lot more fuel on this fire. That series is going to be more than just baseball for an entire weekend. We're going to be locked in the den with the Rebs. So it's going to be important to come out hot. Because if not, they're going to be on top of us every single day for that weekend. So, and then you're coming off of going to Knoxville, which we already know how they feel. They're the inventors of baseball all of a sudden after
Tennessee.
Few good years. Right. So you're going to have to deal with the obnoxiousness of them in Knoxville. But then you add that on to the weight of going to Ole Miss too. And man, that's going to be one hell of a stretch.
So yeah, the talking about the Ole Miss series, I asked Jim about the football rivalry bleeding over into the baseball rivalry, and I got my answer Wednesday morning. After Monday morning, because we recorded that actually Sunday night, and I'm messing my days up. Monday morning after the loss of Sacramento State, some reason Ole Miss fans decided to go into posts that don't concern them again. So yeah, it's bleeding over. I'll be honest, I'm not going to give any credence to Mississippi State until they show me they can win the SEC. Their coach is a great coach. I'm not saying he's not. They have the talent, but the SEC is a different monster. And the ACC is a good conference. It's not the SEC. It's still a step above. So until he can come in and he can show he can manage an SEC team through SEC play, I'm not saying he won't figure it out. It's the first year. That's basically where I'm going with. Tennessee series, I'm not crazy worried about. I had the thought that they would be better without Tony V. Tony V is a great coach. I'm not saying he's not. I've stated this before. I thought that he brought too much energy to the program. And I thought Elander would be a good calming note of that. One of the biggest series, there's a bunch of big series. This weekend's one of your top series. The Kentucky series is going to be a big series, whether people want to believe it or not. Mingione is a great coach. Jay Johnson's not going to be best friends with a terrible coach, right? Finishing off against Florida, I don't care what they've done. A&M, I mean, it's the SEC, but I would if I had to take half of the scheduled weekend series and kind of break them down, it would honestly be Vandy, Oklahoma, A&M, Florida, and Ole Miss, because Vandy's struggling, but we all know Vandy. Florida's struggling. We all know Florida. A&M is a team that can hit the ball a very, 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 very far away. Ole Miss hates us. Like Jim Cross said on the show, I didn't know this, but no matter who they play, any game after the national anthem, they yell, "Go to hell, LSU." That's their thing. So the Ole Miss series is going to be. There's a lot of big series. This right now to me is the road to 18. And why I say 18 is because I picked them to win 18 and 20 games. So right now we're on the road to 18. That's all I care about. I'd like to win 2 every series. We're not going to win every series, guys.
Right. Breaking news.
It's not going to happen. You're going to drop a
my
series. Like,
Oh.
you're going to drop a series. It happens.
Y'all heard that here.
Every year.
Y'all heard that here, right?
If we don't lose a series, we go at least 20 and 10, I'll shave my head. I like my hair.
Cheers for that.
All right. So
I can tell you got a good head of lettuce, man.
We're about 45 minutes in. So let's get to Vandy. Let's get to this weekend. Some notes on this weekend. Kind of 2 teams that record-wise, LSU 13-5, Vandy 11-7. You look at their records, you look at some of their. One thing that stands out to me about Vandy is their power at the plate. They are second in the SEC currently in home runs with 44 behind Georgia's 61. So that's one thing that definitely stands out to me. Obviously, the pitching matchup on Friday night is going to be huge between Case and Evans for LSU and Connor Fennell, who's a legit stud, a legit ace for Vanderbilt. News on their pitching rotation. Austin Nye is really good. He's usually their Saturday starter. He's not going to be available this weekend. So behind Fennell on Friday, you'll probably see Wyatt Nadeau on Saturday and then Nate Taylor on Sunday. That's what we expect. That's what has been announced.
That's what they announced.
Yeah, that's been announced. Paul, kind of give your thoughts on maybe this Vandy team and what you think about this matchup heading in this weekend.
I made the joke with Jim Cross that, yeah, they have a lot of home runs, but they, if Jake Brown played in that stadium, he'd probably have 20 right now. Because they play in a bandbox. And if you don't know what a bandbox means, it's just a tiny ballpark. Their offense doesn't worry me as much, to be completely honest. And now Vandy has played a lot of stout competition. I will say that. And a lot of their home runs have come on the road. I'm going to take my medicine from Jim and learn that. Their pitching is what's going to be worrying me this weekend. I believe in our starting rotation. I want to see our offense be able to attack the zone. These guys don't walk people, and these guys are going to attack the zone. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers I had today from my show. Let me look at it real quick. Connor Fennell in 130 innings pitch has struck out 30, only given up 3 walks.
Crazy work.
Their Saturday guy struck out 15, who's not their, if you could pencil in who you want to Saturday, it wouldn't be White Nadeau, but 15 strikeouts and 11 innings pitched. So right there, what's that? 45 strikeouts in your first 2 guys.
And
then you have 24 Ks out of a guy who's walked 12 people in 18 innings pitched. So he's liable to give up the walk. 18 innings pitched, 6 walks a game. That's a lot. But they're going to live in the zone, except for Sunday. They're going to live in the zone. Can we hit them? That's my biggest worry going into Vandy. It's because Cason's going to fill up the zone. Cason's going to pitch. Cooper's going to pitch. Williams going to pitch well. I don't have a big scare of the defense as much. Hopefully, they prove me right. But can the offense play? Because you can't go into baseball worried about what the other team's going to do.
All right.
You're playing the ball. What do you do with the ball is how you win. Now, and so that's what I love about baseball. Can we hit? That's my biggest thing.
Yeah. It's also something interesting listening to, between Go Deep Dive, listening to your show, Paul, before we came on here, with Fennell and Nadeau, they're kind of change up slider, off speed guys. They're kind of not like, I think
Do your sound effect,
Fennell's
Paul.
fast. I think Fennell's fastball tops out around 90 miles an hour. So like he doesn't throw as hard as your normal like Friday night guy, Friday night ace. But like point is like slider, change up heavy with the first two guys you're gonna see start for Vandy this weekend. Taylor has a little more heat to him. The Sunday guy, excuse me, has a little more heat, a little more power to him. So I think dealing with the off speed stuff, dealing with the approach that what Connor Fennell prioritizes, that's going to be a challenge for this LSU offense in terms of dealing with the off speed stuff from Fennell, and then Nadeau on Saturday with Taylor throwing a little bit more heat on Sunday. AP, you got any more thoughts on this weekend?
So my thoughts are we going to be able to control what we can control? Like most of the games that we lost, it's because we didn't take care of the opportunities that we had. I mean, how many times over weekends did we leave runners in scoring positions and it was just bad approaches at the bat, rushing things, not following through the game plan that Jay laid out? Like it wasn't like shout out to the teams that beat us. I'm not taking anything away from them. But what I'm saying is that are we going to give the game and put it in their hands to control our fate? Or are we going to do what we're supposed to do and control our fate? That's what I want to see.
First and third outs at third, base running errors, missed signs.
Yes.
Just it's the things you don't think about going into a weekend series. Like, are we going to be able to run the bases well? No one's going to talk about that. Base running blunders bit us Tuesday.
Yep.
But also you have moments where like Milam, after he reaches after the drop ball in foul territory, tags up from first. Jake Brown, who I've highlighted all year as being one of the best base runners on his team, manufactures getting into scoring position just by watching how people react.
David said in the chat, pickoff attempts.
Yeah.
Don't. Cerna and Beatty have to catch it first, but they're going to throw everybody out. So,
so that's what I want to see. I want to see, like, we can control the game and minimize our own mistakes. I'm confident that we win. And looking at this, someone asked in my chat, my boy Nick asked earlier, what do I think the record will be coming out of Vandy? I think that we go 2-1. Like, I mean, look, Paul said earlier, you're not going to win 2 of every game, but their Saturday guy is down. We got to take advantage of that. And even with that, your Sunday guy does not already have the advantage over their normal Sunday starter. So now you should really have an advantage on Sunday. So even if you drop Friday, you better make sure you win Saturday and Sunday. But in order to get 2 wins, you have to first win 1.
Yeah. I think also one other thing I'll add before we get out of here in a minute. Another thing that is also concerning about this team potentially is the slow starts. This team doesn't start fast. They haven't started fast for most of the season. Now they did against Sacramento State and they did in some other games, but most of the time, especially in the last 2 weeks, this team has started the game trailing and had to claw back from a deficit or whatever. Like if you're playing a top 10, top 25 team in SEC play and you go down like that in, a bunch of games, that's going to be even harder to claw back from. So I think the slow starts is also a concerning factor a little bit for me. Like I would like to see the team be able to start faster because I think that's a big thing, like not letting SEC teams jump on you early because if that happens, it is hard to claw back from that. I'll go the same route as you. AP, I'll say we win 2 out of 3 this weekend. I think the biggest advantage that you have on the weekends in SEC play is your starting rotation. And I'm not just saying, Case and Evans on Friday, but having Saturday, Cooper Moore on a Saturday is a weapon. William Schmidt on a Sunday is a weapon. And I think that is going to help the Tigers win a lot of series in the SEC because of the advantage that you have on the mound on Saturday and on Sunday in a lot of these SEC series. Paul, I'll let you give your final closing thoughts, and then AP, you can do the same if you would like, and then I'll close the show out.
Thank you to everyone who have come out and decided to join together and uplift these guys. Get excited for SEC baseball. It's here. We've been fighting through the fan dog days of baseball, running through non-con. Now we get to see what our Tigers are really made of. Enjoy it. Continue to uplift these guys. Remember the Southerns. Remember the Auburns. Remember getting beat by Ole Miss and swept by Ole Miss. It can happen. Don't let it freak you out. It's all good. Road to 18. The road to 18. And remember that God loves you, and all he wants you to do is love him back, guys.
AP?
First, let me just say thank you guys for all of the support. I mean, it's completely overwhelming.
Except for Sky Joe.
Even Sky Joe, thank you for the engagement. Run it up, brother. Thank you, man. We love you. Like I said to start my show earlier, I never would have expected this to take place the way it did. How everything is moving, the unity, the community that we're having, that we're building, and people will come and go, but man, true bonds that we share will always last forever, and I cannot thank you guys enough for being there for all of us. It's exciting times, not just because of what's happening around the team that we love, but what's happening around each of us, and the fact that you guys show up and support us for all that is absolutely amazing. Please keep in mind that we do this because we love it. We are not perfect. We will make mistakes. But what I can tell you about the individuals that I've surrounded myself with is when we make mistakes, we're going to come out here and we're going to own it. We're not going to be disrespectful towards any individual player. And if you see someone doing that, make sure that you try to avoid that and just correct it. It's okay to critique. It's never okay to criticize and down someone. That's not what
it's okay to criticize. Don't bash them.
Yeah, like what I mean by criticize is people look at criticism as the harshest form. Like critique and criticism are the same thing, right? But when you say the word criticize for some reason, it lights a candle under someone. He criticized me. So not to make it this long tangent, I know the name of the show, right? But I just want to say, continue to uplift, continue to build this community and round it out. We can't do it without each and every one of you. Let's get ready for a good weekend of baseball. It's going to be fun. The boys are on the road, so continue to lift them up in prayer, support them in everything that they do. Make sure we support each other. I got everybody's back, and I'm praying for each and every one of you. Make sure you pray for us too. God love y'all, and God be blessed.
Yeah. I'll just say to close the show out, first of all, I would like to thank AP and Paul for coming on the show tonight. I have a blast. Really, not a lot of people might not know this, but, I launched this show on January 12th. Today's March 12th. So it's been officially 2 months of Babin on the Bayou. And that's crazy that it's been that long. And I just want to thank everybody. I want to thank Paul. I want to thank AP. I want to thank David, Zach, like everybody, like this community that, y'all have let me become a part of, and I appreciate that.
We didn't let you. We just decided to come. We didn't let you. We decided to join.
The door's open, man.
We are open arms to everyone.
Yeah, door's
everyone
open
until you act crazy.
But what I wanted to say is, I mean, it's also I just want to give a little bit of praise because I have been blessed by God in so many ways, and like being able to graduate from LSU in December and accomplishing that was a dream of mine, and being able to do that, and then starting in January, pursuing my dream, and got a long way to go, got a lot more to figure out, but I'm thankful for the ways the Lord has blessed me with friends, with a community, with people that support system. And I'm just getting started. I know these boys are just getting started. And I thank you folks. I thank you folks so much for tuning in to this episode. I thank you, AP, and you, Paul, for joining me, for being great friends.
Forget
that goes
your vote
also for.
Don't forget to get your vote in for Pick to Click. I'm letting everyone else pick what I'm giving away. Go get your vote in. Follow Babin on the Bayou. Like, subscribe.
Real quick housekeeping before we sign off. Tomorrow night, y'all know Justin's going live at 5. Make sure you tune in. Tomorrow night. Oh, wait, that's right. That's right. My boy.
I did want to make this. I can make this announcement real quick. I don't mean to interrupt. This weekend, my siblings are in town. My whole family is in town. We only get to see each other about 5 to 6 days out of the year. My cousin's getting married this weekend on Saturday. So this weekend, I might not be as active as I would like to be, as I normally am this weekend. But after that, I'll still try to pop in here or there. But this weekend, won't have a show tomorrow. Won't be able to join AP on post game Friday night. Got a lot of stuff planned with the fam this weekend. But I'll be tuning in, and after this weekend, we're gonna keep it rolling, folks. But yeah, keep going, AP.
All right. So go deep dive. Paul is joining his scorn lover, David Billiot, stepping in. Lover. No, I'm sorry. That's right. David's joining his scorn lover. Paul filling in for Zach Nunez, who's going to be out tomorrow. And then immediately following that, Paul's got to go be responsible and go to work. So David's going to join me for our post game for his ride home. So we got y'all covered. The content is contenting. Make sure that you are tapped in, you are subscribed, you're following us along, because we're going to keep you guys tapped into what the programs are doing, how everything is flowing, what our thoughts and opinions are, because that's just what we're sharing, our thoughts and opinions, and get your feedback back on that as well. Make sure, like Paul said, you have liked, subscribed, and shared this. Give the algorithm gods what they need. They need that engagement so Justin can get his views. We want this thing to grow. The only way that we can do and keep it free is by you pressing the button. So go press the button.
Thank you, folks, for tuning in. I appreciate all of you people in the comments that I've seen. Thank you, AP. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, folks, for tuning in to this Thursday evening edition of the Babin on the Bayou show. Remember, as always, God bless. Have a great one. And go Tigers. Have a great one, folks.